very beautiful morning to you this morning, right here from the studios of Empire Radio 102.1 FM. You're tuned into your number one urban lifestyle station today, Friday, the 10th day in the month of October, year 2025. I'm welcoming you on board this amazing ride of newspaper review, where we get to take a look at all of the major stories that made the front pages of the editorials in the land this morning. I'll be looking to analyze and also dissect some of the odd topics together on the show. Ayodeji Ajiboye is my name. Absolute honor to be your host on the show this morning. Of course, we'll be having a special time from now down till 8 p.m. on the show. Don't forget that I can be a part of the show this morning, and when the time is right, I'll definitely be trying the phone lines open, and you can also connect with us right there on our social media platforms on X, which is formerly Twitter, at impact221 FM, or live on our Facebook fan page at impact Radio 102.1 FM. You can also join us on our YouTube channel at impact Radio 102.1 FM. Top stories are making the rounds in the land this morning, and let me remind you that yes, today we're celebrating the World Mental Health Day. Yes, what is mental health? Let me quickly give you a bit of mind shift on it before I go straight into the health topics for this morning. Your mental health. That is your emotional, your psychological, and your social well-being. Definitely, it influences the way you think, the way you feel, and also the way you act. Most especially, if you're in this part of the earth, the way you cope with life stress, the way you relate with others, and even the choices that you make. So you know that your mental health is very important in the way that you cope with stress, the way that you deal with relationship with people, the way that you tend to produce, and also your physical health. Today, because we're celebrating the Mental Health Day, I will tell you that you should make sure as much as possible you practice what I call self-care. Yes, make sure you practice what I call self-care, because it is very much important for you. Try as much as possible to engage in activities that will give joy to your soul. You know, when they say joy overflow in my heart, there are some things that will give you that thing. Some of these things you do them before, but because you get so engrossed with work, adulthood is adulting, life is lifing, you tend to drift away from all of these things. And at the end of the day, they all have ripple effects, because they are the things that you enjoy, you stop them because you could not create time for them again. So in a bid to maintain and also improve your mental health, not to fall victim of all of the words that are flying around now, talk about depression, talk about, all of these things, you need to go back to that thing that gives you joy. Relax, drink water, listen to music, exercise. That hobby, go back to it. Might be the one that you used to, maybe when you were in preschool, maybe when you were in junior school. Go back to it. As long as it gives you joy, do it over and over and over again. And don't forget to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Eat good. It's not a must you fill your plate before you know that you are eating good. Eat good. Eat something that you know would give your body, the energy that you desire. Make sure that your diet is balanced. You have the bit of, carbs, you have the bit of the protein, you have the bit of the vitamins that your body requires. And most importantly, please sleep. Try to get sleep as much as possible. Well, not to bore you with the mental health talks on this show this morning, this is Newspaper Review right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. I will be going through the top stories making the rounds in all of the major editorials in the land this morning. A couple of news that I was sharing with you on the show, and I would like you to be a part of us on the show this one. I'll go on this quick breather, and when I'm back, go straight into all of the top stories that we have on the front pages of the dailies this morning. Don't go anywhere. This is Empire Radio 102.1 FM, and you're logged in on the Newspaper Review.
Put a touch of class and finesse on your brand by advertising with us at High Impact 1021 FM. For more information, call
0706 393 5694, 0915 958 1881, or 0902 745 3931.
Follow us on our social media platforms
at High Impact 1021 FM.
Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
12 hours of intense worship, 12 anointed artists, one stage. Are you ready? High Impact Praise Blast 2025 is coming. Get ready for a night of fire where praise, worship, miracles, and joy abound. It is High Praise Reloaded. Date Friday, December 26th, 2025. Time 6 p.m. Venue High Impact Planet Amusement Park Resort and Hotel, Kilometer 12, Lagos Ibadan Expressway, Ibafo. Ministry DJ Ernestine, Adeyinka Alasheyori, BJ Sax, Shenwele Jesu, Lilian Neji, our CCG Praise Team, the City Choir, Laolu Benjo, Bidemi Olaoba, Sumisola Agbebi, Toluwani Sings, Chinyere Udoma. For more inquiries, please call 0814-229-9509 or 0706-393-5694. Entry is absolutely free. High Praise Reloaded. It is time to praise loud, worship deep, and live blessed.
Hello there. Join us Mondays to Fridays, 7:05 a.m. for newspaper reviews, headlines, analysis, and comments on your urban lifestyle station. High Impact 102.1 FM.
To the newspaper review right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. One place where we get to dissect and also analyze some of the author picks making the rounds in the land this morning. Going through the major dailies that we have in front of us. This morning we got to make do with four of the major editorials in the land this morning. I'll be looking to serve you all of the top stories on the front pages of these dailies. You can do well to also grab a copy of these dailies for yourself to get familiar with some of the stories that we'll be sharing the headlines with you on the show this morning. So to remind that I can keep track of the updates and more by following us across all social media platforms. We are currently live on our YouTube channel at impact 102.1 FM, our Facebook fan page at impact radio 102.1 FM. You can connect with us in the studio 0907 224 5018 0907 224-5018. You can drop us your message on WhatsApp, maybe a regular text message. I would like you to be a part of the show. Let's get interactive together this morning. Call us up 0907-224-5018. I tell you, the leading story in the land this morning is that the Independent National Electoral Commission now has a new chair. Yes. Just as it has been from time immemorial. Before today, as at early this week, if I'm not mistaken, October 7, we had an acting chair who replaced the erstwhile chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, that's Mahmoud Yakubu, who is May Agbamuche Umbu. That was from October 7. She acted as the chairperson after Mahmoud Yakubu completed the second 5-year tenure as the Independent National Electoral Commission's chairman. And you agree with me that over the years, INEC on its own has been the subject of a lot of controversies. several ones in the run-up to elections in the country, because during the electioneering process, INEC, other than the political parties, other than the flag bearers, they are more like the focal points. And if you take it back in time, as far back as 2007 general elections, there's always a bit of criticism that's always been coming with the preparedness of the Independent National Electoral Commission. Even prior to the last election in 2023, we also saw something like that that came with the electoral reform, that came with whether or not to be doing e-voting, that came with the beavers, and what have you. Now, we have a new chair. Yes. As of yesterday, the federal government has given us a new chairman for the Independent National Electoral Commission. And of course, he's a professor and a senior advocate of Nigeria, Joash Ojo Amokpithon. And you agree with me that at this particular point in time, there's going to be a very tough test ahead of him, because moving forward, he's going to be starting with a couple of off-cycle elections, like the ones in Anambra, like the ones in Bayelsa, before we go into the general election in 2027. Now, parties will definitely want to set standards for him, the ones that his predecessors have not been able to go up the notch about. Now the big question is, will he deliver or not? We're still on the newspaper review on Empire Radio 102.1 FM this morning, and I'll be starting with the Punch newspaper, where the top story on the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning says, Amokpithon faces tough test as new INEC chair, and a writer to that story says, opposition warns against partisanship, demands urgent reforms. It's always been the talk of urgent reforms when it comes to the Independent National Electoral Commission, because it's been said that a lot of things needs to change, because Nigerians believe that there's a bit of electoral irregularities that comes with the statutes of the Independent National Electoral Commission from time immemorial. Even as of 2019, the main opposition party and even its presidential candidates, they were challenging the results in court. So hopefully this time around, even if we're going to be seeing anything like that, it's definitely going to be at the barest minimum. Another writer to that story says, Tinubu APC defend appointments, urge fairness and also credibility. And the graphic image on the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning says, Customs sees 1.9 billion naira hard drugs, expired flour at Seme border. Customs sees 1.9 billion naira hard drugs, expired flour at Seme border. And then you have the image of officials of the customs service with all of the packaged 6 products are right in front of them. And beneath that story this morning says, please back down on tinted glass enforcement. Says please back down on tinted glass enforcement. I know that over the last couple of days now, we've been on this place tinted glass issue, where it's been said that even the fault is not coming from the masses. People are trying to get the permit, but many times they only have what you call a soft copy of the document being sent to them after trying to make payments for the permits, even those who are willing to make the payment. And now it says the police are backing down on the tinted glass enforcement, because it feels like they know that a bulk of the problem is coming from their own end. And just beside, I also have policeman forgets cap in Ogun student car after extortion. Wow, this is laughable, really, because all right, I promise I'm not laughing. I promise I'm not laughing. But how do you do that? It gives me a reminiscent of this very popular short thing there that says, help me, they carry me go where I don't know. Cause of course this feels like it. How do you go into a student's car and you leave your cap there. I think the cap of the policeman should be like the symbol of authority. You don't have your cap, you cannot even talk to me, because aside from your ID card, I think your cap should. Okay, well, it does happen. Sometimes they will tell you it is not until you are sick before they say that people are actually after your life. Like this person, really. Other story on the front page of the Punch newspaper says Tinubu Oshun mourn as Christopher Kolade dies. Tinubu Oshun mourn as Christopher Kolade dies. And away from that story this morning, right in front of the nameplate of the Punch newspaper says Tinubu pardons Abat Macaulay, Vata, Farouk Lawan, and 172 others. Tinubu pardons Abat Macaulay, Vata, Farouk Lawan, and 172 others. These people are getting federal pardon for whatever offense it is that they've committed in the time past. It does happen like that. And don't forget that Farouk Lawan is a former a Nigerian politician, a former member of the House of Representatives, and I recall that the issue he had was back then there seemed to be a bit of has to do with corruption, if I'm not mistaken, and it involves himself and the federal government, because it was trying to get a bribe, and the person in question then was the oil magnate that's talking about Femi Otedola. Yes, he represented the Shamo constituency, and I recall back then that I was demanding about $3 million from Femi to remove his company, the oil and gas, that's his former company, from the list of oil companies allegedly involved in petrol subsidy fraud in 2012. So, well, luck has finally shone on him, and hopefully, I don't know, maybe or maybe not, we're still going to be seeing this particular person come back and maybe want to still hold public office in the country. That is left to be seen anyways. But then Tinubu pardons Abat Macaulay, Vata, Farouk Lawan, and 172 others. And above the nameplate of the Punch newspaper this morning says National Assembly probes NNPCL over $18 billion refinery spending. Yeah, I do feel that this is worth probing truly, because in the last couple of months, years, we've heard about the refineries being, worked on. At the time, they would tell us that one of it is functioning, the Port Harcourt is functioning. Fast forward to a couple days after, they will tell you that okay, they needs to a particular section of it needs to be worked on and stuff like that. And there's always money flowing to this direction. There's always money being budgeted for all of these things. At the end of the day, the average Nigerian is not enjoying the benefit of all of this money that is being spent. And now the National Assembly are saying that they are probing the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited over the $18 billion refinery spending. How have you spent it? What have you done on the refineries? Why are they not functioning at the optimal capacity just yet? We know that there's a level and of the barrels that these refineries can produce per day, but they are not even serving any purpose. Is it the Warri Izakwe? Is it the Kaduna one? Is it the Port Harcourt one? Nothing, absolutely nothing is happening from the end of the Nigerian refineries. And it's going to be a very good one if the National Assembly do their due diligence to make sure that something really happens. You have the image of Abbas right there, who is the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Also, that story is on page 18 of the Punch newspaper this morning. And beside, I also have Tinubu clears 959 for national honors. Tinubu clears 959 for national honors. I want to know those who have been cleared for national honors. You need to check out page 2 of the Punch newspaper this morning. And lastly, on the front page of the Punch newspaper, you have federal government moves to audit varsities over 10th fund grant. Federal government moves to audit varsities over 10th fund grant. That story is on page 7 of the Punch newspaper this morning. And that's how much I'll be taking on the front page of the Punch newspaper for this morning. Don't forget you can be a part of the show. 0907-224-5018. Drop us your 2 cents. Drop us your comment about all of the stories that will be taken on the show this morning. You can as well call us up 0907-224-5018. We are live on our Facebook fan page at Impact Radio 102.1 FM and on YouTube at Impact 102.1 FM. Let's get interactive together on the show. We move to the next newspaper this morning, and just so you know, I will not be doing this alone. I've got Isioma Sokoya who joins me on the show this morning. Isioma, top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning to you, Ayodeji. Hope Lagos traffic did not deal with you.
Wow, it does happen like that sometimes. My heart goes out to everyone who tends to witness that day in, day out.
Yes. So moving on, we'll be viewing the Daily Trust newspaper, and the headline is Amopito and his record.
Okay.
How he should lead INEC parties. I feel in this situation he will find it very challenging being a Kogi born and all, but the president believes in his integrity. That was why he was handed this position. Moving on, we'll be seeing Israel-Hamas signs Gaza ceasefire deal. Okay. Israel-Hamas signs Gaza ceasefire deal.
I think it's a laudable one that at the end of the day we are seeing a bit of ceasefire in Israel and Gaza, because this has been going on for a very long time now. Talk about the lives that has been lost and others, things that has happened in the time past concerning this particular war between the two, South, Middle East countries. But then it's a good one that Israel have now approved the plan of the President of the United States, that's talking about President Donald Trump, for the Gaza ceasefire. And we hoping that all of the hostages that are currently being held are also going to be released, let's say possibly today or in the coming days. Because if you ask me, I do believe that a ceasefire was due to come into effort, because the Israeli cabinet, they are more like the only ones who are not giving it approval in the last couple of years. And this is just a bit of, I want something, you don't want it, and both sides are at loggerheads. And it's now left for the first world countries to try as much as possible to mediate in between them. And I was reading somewhere last night that says that a part of the deal is that Israel's military must withdraw to a line that will leave it in control of about 53% of Gaza. And Hamas must also release 20 living hostages within 72 hours. So there's a bit of give me and I'll give you between these two nations. So let's hope that after now, we'll not be seeing a recurrence of all of this over again, because sometimes ceasefires are usually not ceasefires. You hear that there's a bit of ceasefire today, and the next morning you are up, you are checking the news again, you are seeing that these people are still up against one another. Israel are also said to be releasing about 250 Palestinian prisoners that have been held in their jails, and about 1,700 detainees from Gaza. Just look at that figure. Look at the amount of people who, because of this war between these two nations, have been displaced. Bogus figures of people. All of these ones now looks like they are starting their lives afresh. Wow. God help them.
Moving on, FCT Council withdraws TV radio levy. FCT Council withdraws TV radio levy. It's amazing how they brought back levy and taxes after Nigerians are still battling with the ones that's from next year we are going to be paying tax on this, tax on that. So are they trying to tell us that even the television sets that we use that hard-earned money to buy will still pay for tax? And from what I learned while I was in school, everybody, no matter how little you are, you pay tax directly or indirectly. For instance, if you buy maybe a biscuit, automatically a value added tax has been added to that biscuit without your knowledge. And now they are telling Nigerians that they will still pay for TV and radio levy. It's so amazing.
I like the fact that the residents definitely kicked against it. I saw one of the receipts yesterday, and then it feels like No, bro. Why am I paying on a television that I bought with my money?
Funnily enough, as of last 2 years in my area, around Abulegba, they brought a tax for the residents of that vicinity to pay TV and radio levy. And I was like, someone came to tell me that, is it true that we are supposed... I said, I've not heard that though. He said that they even threatened them that they will disconnect their lights. I said lights on top TV and radio that did you pay any money? He said he did not pay, or that they even dropped the account number and told him that they are going to come back. And when we checked the account number, we were planning on seeing maybe a Lagos State clinical something.
Like an individual account.
It was an individual account.
Like seriously?
So I'm very sure if those people hear it, they'll be like, but that time, but no, they said we should pay. So it's so amazing how things keep coming up day by day.
Well, I mean, we are already seeing enough, and I feel like for some of the residents in Abuja, what they claim is that it feels inhumane and also a bit of, still meting out severe economic hardship on the masses, where they already are complaining that things are not too rosy, and then you're calling that people do this. Well, it's been said that for the television tax, the controversy is stemming from the recently assented AMAC radio and television license by law, which is number 19 of 2024. So it's been said that according to the notice, failure to comply is a punishable offense that could lead to arraignment at the magistrate court and possible sealing off of affected premises. That is in the law of the Federal Capital Territory, because it says that the law mandates annual license fee for anyone who owns or controls a radio, television, or other items of the same or similar kind. So if you have a woofer or maybe a subwoofer, you pay tax on. Okay.
But in my opinion, we are paying a whole lot for a country that we are not even generating as much as we pay. For instance, if you are using a decoder in your place or at home, you are paying a subscription fee of almost 10,000 naira, depending on the subscription you are going for. And you paying radio and television levy. It's a whole lot. And some people, we are still complaining that minimum wage is not enough. So by the time you buy food, you buy this, which money do you want to use and actually pay this levy? So if you want to get more of that story, it can be found on page 17 on the Daily Trust newspaper.
All right. Moving
on, how the new income tax will affect you. Ayodeji, I think they are referring to you. How the new income tax
all of us.
will affect you.
It's all of us right now, and it's so much to dissect when it comes to the new income tax, because just so you know, it's let's say it's in classes, so you better go for your own class. So when you understand the class of the society that you're falling under, you get to know how much tax you're definitely going to be paying as an average Nigerian. But of course, it's been said that this particular new tax reform is one that is coming with increased marginal tax rates for the high income individuals. In my opinion, I feel like those are the ones who really have, should we say, the receiving end, because let's say those that are earning like 50 million naira and above annually will now be falling into the higher band, and they're going to be taxed up to let's say 25% compared to, I think before now used to be 23 or 24% that they are usually being taxed before now. So they are calling it a progressive tax rates, because I've seen all of these things and I feel like, okay, it's a good one, ranging from 0 to 25, just like I've mentioned. So hopefully it is one that would work for people who are actually paying as you earn before, because some people who have been on the receiving end of this payee, I feel like they are not on the normal. They are not supposed to be paying, because some people are not even earning up to the minimum wage. So, and with the new tax law, it's actually giving them that opportunity, and it looks like it's going to be some form of benefit for them, because is going to be reducing the corporate income tax as well. So they are the good sides and also the other side of this tax. If you take a look at it keenly,
Still on the Daily Trust newspaper, Tinubu pardons Vasa, Farouk Lawan, and others. And I think Ayodeji has taken that story on the Punch newspaper. So still on that, Christopher Olukolade dies at 92. May his gentle soul rest in peace, and I'm very sure this is celebration of life. Yes, at least he saw his children and hopefully grandchildren. This is celebration of life. Moving on, reps probe $18 billion spent on refineries.
No verifiable evidence. We only hear of the figures.
Honestly.
We only hear of the figures, and according to Nigerian House of Representatives, it's a good one that they are probing this one. I already talked about it. I think the motion was moved yesterday, passing through the resolution at the preliminary. And I think it was the Lagos lawmaker that actually moved the motion. Sesi Wingan, who owned the motion, says the refineries in Port Harcourt, Warri, and Kaduna, they have remained non-functional after over 2 decades of rehabilitation. What is the other English that they normally use again? They're trying to get it back up, and we've been spending bogus amount of money, like huge amount of money on these refineries in the time past. Taking it back to let's say in March 2021, it was said that federal government approved about $1.5 billion for the rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt refinery in Rivers State. In August 2021, the Federal Executive Council still approved another $1.48 billion for the rehabilitation of Warri and Kaduna in 3 phases: 21, 23, and 33 months. And in 2024 again, they said that the Port Harcourt refinery has officially commenced crude oil processing, and in May this year it was shut down due to maintenance. And now the Warri and Kaduna, we are hearing that they are undergoing maintenance. I recall that at that time some residents of Port Harcourt were saying that this refinery is not functioning, and the management of the NNPCL were out saying, no, it's not like that. We are only trying to still get maintain some part of the refinery, some part of it. At this particular point in time, none. So, I mean, where have all of these funds been going to? Okay.
And the last story is on the Daily Trust newspaper is APC disqualifies 2 Ekiti governorship aspirants, dissolves Enugu ESCO. APC disqualifies 2 Ekiti governorship aspirants and dissolves 2 Enugu ESCO. What's that means? They were not found worthy to be contestants, and that was why they were disqualified, or they saw one thing that may hinder their integrity. Let me just put it that way.
It depends on the party statute, and maybe just like you mentioned, it might be that they are really not up to the level at which they think they should be on, maybe in terms of maybe integrity, or you can say the certificates that they possess going into the screening that was held yesterday. I think that's it on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. And away from the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, we'll go on the script, brother, and we'll be back. We'll go straight into the rest of the editorials that we have in front of us this morning. Don't forget, this is Empire Radio 102.1 FM, and this is a newspaper review where we get to go through all of the major editorials in the land today, Thursday in the month of October, year 2025, 10/10/25, by the way. Okay, I'll be back after this script, brother. Don't go anywhere. See the newspaper review.
Yeah, Impact. Hi, how may I help you?
So everywhere's a bit boring. I was wondering where I could get the perfect blend of education and entertainment. Do you have any suggestion?
Of course I do. You're at the right place. Here on High Impact 102.1 FM, we give you premium edutainment. We promise you'll never get bored with us.
In this Nigeria?
Yes, and here's the good news. You can actually listen to us wherever you are.
Put a touch of class and finesse on your brand by advertising with us at High Impact 1021 FM. For more information,
Call 0706 393 5694, 0915 958 1881, or 0902 745 3931.
follow us on our social media platforms.
At High Impact 1021 FM.
Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
Hello there. Join us Mondays to Fridays, 7:05 a.m. for newspaper reviews, headlines, analysis, and comments on your urban lifestyle station. High Impact 102.1 FM.
To the newspaper review on Empire Radio 102.1 FM, taking a look at the top stories that made the headlines in the land this morning, going through a couple of the major editorials. We've been able to take you through two of the editorials already, and we still got a couple more right in front of us this morning. Don't forget, the 907-224-5018 is the gateway to the studio this morning. Call us up, send us your message. I'll be more than willing to take that on the show. 907-224-5018. Can as well join us live on our social media platforms. We're live on Facebook at Empire Radio 102.1 FM, as well as on YouTube at Impact 102.1 FM. Straight into the next editorial this morning. I'll be making do with the Vanguard newspaper. And on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, this one says, accommodation crisis eats varsities. Students, parents will. Accommodation crisis eats varsities. Students, parents will. I read out that story. Says 105,000 battle for 13,000 bed space at University of Ibadan, University of Lagos, and also LASU. Wow. Another writer says we are suffering under pressure. That's according to the National Association of Nigerian Students. Another writer says agents make life unbearable for students, parents. Another writer says stress for commuting from home affecting our studies, and that's according to students. Another one says we are pursuing PPP approach to solve the problem. That's according to the federal government. 105,000 battle for 13,000 bed spaces in University of Ibadan, Unilag, and LASU. I recall at the time, University of Ilorin, you need to. There are set days when they will open portals for you to get space in the school hostel, and usually like a survival of the fittest. Let's assume that God will help you and you're in an area where the network is not stable. Just take it as though you're missing out already.
Spaces like more than 5 bed spaces, and you'll be asking yourself,
how did you get it?
How did they get it? And they will be reselling it. Then to get a bed space was not much. It was not expensive, maybe 15 to 20,000. But
compared to now.
No, that is the actual price. It was not expensive. Okay. But your fellow students will now tell you, oh, bring 50k just to have a space. Some video ones will even increase the price, and you'll be like, Then I used to remember my friend, because she schooled in Unilag.
Okay.
She will call us that we should please help her to start balloting. So from anywhere we are, the first person, she'll just send us the link. The first person's own that clicks, she'll be able to secure one space. And we'll be like about 5. And we are not Unilag students, but we are helping one person to ballot. And I was just like, now what for this country?
I mean, all of these things, it just goes to show how bad and how corrupt
we are.
Most of the individuals in this country are. Because just like you mentioned now, how on earth are you getting a space that is meant for a student? You're having like 5 of them, and all you can think of is how you're going to resell this best space. putting hardship on the parents of the other students, because of course they would want to get a best space for convenience. It's not all of the students that can afford to rent house outside of the school premises, even if they have. Some people enjoy the fact that they are on campus.
Yes, because they feel they are safer. Even my mom, she'll tell you it's safer to stay inside campus than outside campus.
Well, we hope that the federal government, just like I said, that they are pursuing the PPP approach to solve the problem currently happening in some of the universities. I was checking through socials yesterday as well, and then I saw a particular institution in the country where the students are currently carrying placards, because it's been said that the school management are imposing a 30,000 naira levy on them. And it's like, for why? Why are you doing this? So the students are out and saying, we no go pay. Like, it was somewhat funny, but it's true. It's been said that on the bill there's already space for this amount of money. Now you're bringing it again, like you're duplicating it, and the students are saying, no, we are definitely not going to be paying this one. Hopefully the federal government are able to resolve with the public and private partnership to make sure that this problem of shortage of accommodation is being resolved in the federal universities. And I feel like this is one of the reasons why the federal government have said no senator is bringing a bill that you want a federal university to be created in your constituency, in your state, at this particular point in time. Maybe except for, let's say, federal colleges of education, but universities, the federal government feels like we have had enough of it. And away from that story now, there's the big image on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning, which talks about the Russia envoy who visits the Senate from yesterday. He had the Senate Committee Chairman on Employment, Labor and Productivity, and that's Senator Dikel Plank, and also the Vice Chairman, Senate Committee on Science and Technology, Senator Kelvin Chukwu, are all in attendance yesterday. You want more of that story? Check out the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Other stories on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper says, new INEC chair, Nigerians party set agenda for Mokwiton. Rider to that story says, Council of State approves appointment. Another rider says, ADC to Mokwiton, be loyal to Nigerians and not the ruling party. Very necessary. Very, very necessary. Another writer says, what to expect from the new INEC boss? That one is coming from the Obedient. Down at that story, you have tinted glass. Why police altered permit enforcement? You want to know why? I explained already, but you can check out the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Another story says, Tinubu mourns as ex-UK envoy Christopher Kolade dies at 92. And on the sports corner, before we go to the sports corner, just above the nameplate of the Vanguard newspaper, this one is on par. And it says, bilateral companies owe Nigeria $8.5 million. That's according to the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC. Says bilateral companies owe Nigeria $8.5 million. Beneath that, you have failed rehabilitation. Reps order probe into $18 billion spent on refineries. And that's on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. Other stories on the front page of Vanguard newspaper says, clemency, Tinubu pardons Albert Macaulay, Ogoni 9, Vatsa, and also Lawan. Tinubu pardons Albert Macaulay, Ogoni 9, Vatsa, and Lawan. And right in front of that says, police arrest 12 suspects behind death of Arise News anchor Somto Chukwu. Police arrest 12 suspects behind the death of the Arise News anchor who tragically died a couple days ago. Somto Chukwu. She was also honored on the floor of the house yesterday as well. And on the sports corner says, World Cup qualifiers, we must beat Lesotho and Benin. That's coming from the midfielder of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, Wilfred Ndidi. And that's it on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper for this morning.
And on the Guardian newspaper, the headline is 85. It's World Mental Health Day.
Sure.
85% unreached as Nigeria buckles under massive care gap. It's 5% unreached as Nigeria buckles under care gap. Moving on, Senate blocks 2026 fiscal plan pending review of past spending. Senate blocks 2026 fiscal plan pending review of past spending. And beside it, we have court extends order freezing Oshu local governments withheld bank accounts. Court extends order freezing Osun's local government's withheld bank accounts. This story can be found on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. And moving on, we have Tinubu and Anyokumon's passing of Christopher Kolade. Tinubu and Anyokumon's passing of Christopher Kolade. Yes, it's so painful that Kolade died, but I'll still say it's a celebration of life. Okay. And still on the Guardian newspaper, we have the news on regulated tuition hikes threatens to students' loan. The news on regulated tuition hikes threats to students' loan rather. And we have a new INEC chair faces pressure to rebuild trust after flood 2023 election. New INEC chairman faces pressure to rebuild trust after flood 2023 election. I wish Amuputo all the best as he tries to rebuild trusts for the next election that is coming. Moving on, and that story can be found on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. And we also have World Bank report. Critics says federal government rhetoric contradicts Nigeria's reality. This story is on page 6 of the newspaper. And we also have Osibanjo Odikalu Ali decry moral decline, canvass legal political reforms. Osibanjo Odikalu Ali decry moral decline, canvass legal and political reforms. And we also have beneath that story, IG suspends enforcement of tinted glass law pending court hearing. IG suspends enforcement of tinted glass law pending court hearing. I don't know why they brought back the law of this tinted glass after giving people, issuing permits to citizens to have a tinted glass, and they are now cancelling it. Anyway, it's good that they revisited this matter because people are going through a whole lot, and tinted glass should be the least of Nigerians' worries. And Osun State 2026, Oralusi declares bid to contest for Guba polls. I feel this election for our citizens, the older citizens, is a retirement post for all of them. When they are done with their job and they want to retire, they go into politics. So that is all I can say in that matter. And that is all on the Guardian newspaper today. Ayodeji, do you have any interesting story you want to run us through?
Well, most importantly, we got to talk about the student loan and also the tuition hikes in some of the institutions. Of the truth, as it is now, it feels like, well, some students are enjoying the student's loan because they are getting it, but then it is the repayment plan that is the issue, because a lot of these students are getting this loan with no plan of repaying it at any point in time. And it looks like there's a set of students or a set in the country that are getting this loan. Some people feel like, I don't need it, because if you check the data that has been put out in the last couple of months concerning the students loan, check through it, you find out that majority of people who are getting this loan are from the northern side. And it's not as if it's only available for them, but many people in the west, southwest,
they don't really need it.
It's not, I don't think it's that they don't need it, but they really are not just putting much attention into it. And that is exactly what this done is also mentioning here, that unregulated tuition hike is definitely going to be having effect on the student and the loan that they are getting as well, because at the end of the day there will really be no essence of going to get a loan when all you got to do with it is just your school fee. Fine, we know that a portion of it is meant to be for your school, your tuition. A portion of it is meant to be for your upkeep and stuff. Because I could recall that it's been said that the tuition is going to be paid directly into your institution's account, so you really do not have access to that. But on the other side, you'll be getting a couple of stipends for your upkeep as part of that loan as well. And we are hoping that something is being done with the hike in tuition fees, as much as we are seeing what is happening in some of the institutions that we mentioned, especially when it comes to accommodation. So, and to wrap up this morning, we'll talk about the World Mental Health Day, because I tell you that a lot of people really do not know what it means, what mental health means.
Yes, most people, when they hear mental health, they say, I'm not mad though.
True.
They say, I'm not mad though, nothing is wrong with me. They don't know that most times there are some things that might happen to you that may just traumatize you, and it deals with your mental health. But anything that has to do with mental in Africa, I told my mom one time when she was stressing me, I said, Mom, you are stressing my mental health. She said, I did not born a mad child. So, and I was like, no, that's what you are doing is disturbing me emotionally and all. She said, I did not born a mad child. I did not born a mad child. I said, you did not born a mad child, but just stop what you are doing.
So, and it's also worthy to know that a lot of people still do not know. I mean, someone that do not know that they're having a mental health problem, we definitely don't know where to seek help.
Yes.
And all of these things are what this day is going to be helping us to understand. The World Mental Health Day. We should make sure that at every point in time we are able to seek professional help. We are able to maintain a healthy lifestyle. We are also staying connected with people. Because look here, this is the Nigeria of today. If you are not going through a lot is definitely going through you.
Yes.
So you need to stay connected with people. Don't think that maybe because that person is not reaching out to you, it means that the person is okay and the person is trying to ghost your stuff. Please, if you have the chance to be the bigger person, okay, reach out to that person. Let that person know that you just want to check on them. And if you are checking on anybody, please don't add bills to him. Okay, let's make it easy on ourselves. All right. So yeah, try as much as possible to stay connected with people. Let them know that they also matter too. Engage yourself in social activities. Just try as much as possible to belong, because the moment you try to detach yourself, then all of these things will set into you. You start getting depressed. You start feeling like you are not wanted, and those are the main factors that contribute to you having a mental health breakdown, mental health disorder, and the likes. And that's how much we're taking on the newspaper review for today, 10th day in the month of October 2025. I'll be back tomorrow morning 7 a.m. For the Big Five. That is where we'll be culminating all of the top 5 big stories in the land over the course of the week, and then we'll be looking to analyze them one after the other. On behalf of Isioma Sokoya, I am Ayodeji Ajiboye, and we're saying that you should have for yourself a lovely and an amazing weekend ahead. Good morning. Keep it logged with us right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM.
Hello there. Join us Mondays to Fridays, 7:05 a.m. for newspaper reviews, headlines, analysis, and comments on your urban lifestyle station. High Impact 102.1 FM.
Start your day with Impact as we give you positive